How's it going, YouTube? It's Joe DeFlamin here. It's Coach Joe of the Atlanta Talonflames. I'm here to bring you our next Team Builder episode for our next matchup against Coach Baylor and the OKC Infernapes. Now, last week, guys, I'm sorry, it was a tough one. It was a close matchup. It had to go to timer, but we ended up losing that battle to Dr. Thumping and the Wheeling Alakazams. Our record is 2-2, so we're still technically in the playoff push. Right now, we are the last team in terms of the playoff format because there's going to be 5 teams in each postseason division. So it remains to be seen what's going to be going on with that. But Coach Baylor and the Infernapes, they're a very interesting team right now as it stands. I'm going to look at their team real quick, and then I'm going to talk about my team, and we're going to see what I'm bringing for our battle against Baylor. But yeah, let's get into that real quick. All right, here we are. This is Baylor's team. He uses Sylveon, Conkeldurr, Magneton, Shedinja, Scyther, Galvantula, Midnight Lycanroc, Politoed, Cantonian Weezing, Kingdra, and Lopunny. All right, so let's take a quick look at those Pokemon per se. First off first glance, he's got a range setup right there. He's got Politoed for Drizzle, and he's got Kingdra for Swift Swim. Now, I don't know per se if I'm going to see Swift Swim Kingdra or not. My money's on yes, but he could always throw a curveball at me and run Sniper with Razor Claw to boost those opportunities for critical hits. So I got to be wary about that combo because if he uses Politoed, he's most likely going to give a Damp Rock, max out his turns for the rain at 8 turns, so I gotta be ready for that combination. Next up, we're gonna look at Galvantula. Galvantula, if he doesn't lead Politoed, he's leading Galvantula, and 90% of my confidence is if he throws out that Galvantula first and foremost, I'm gonna have to endure sticky webs for the duration of the battle. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that Galvantula. I mean, Galvantula is fast. It's got a good special attack stat. It's okay at its defenses, but a Bug Electric combination means it eliminates the weakness to flying and it eliminates the weakness to ground. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of Galvantula I endure in this battle. Next up is Shedinja. Shedinja, that one's the real wild card of his team because I've battled a few Shedinjas before. I mean, we all know that it's a gimmick Pokemon. It's got Wonder Guard, so if I don't have a Fire type, if I don't have a Flying type, if I don't have a Ghost type, if I don't have a Dark type, if I don't have one of those moves and that Shedinja's there, I lose, essentially, because Shedinja is, it's just there. And normally you see Focus Sash on Shedinja, so it'll be interesting to see what he brings with that. So, it gets Focus Sash, it gets to survive one extra hit, and then goes and does its thing. So I'll have to keep an eye out for what I'll see with that if he even decides to run it. Next up is Conkeldurr. Conkeldurr, it's got 2 abilities from what I've learned. It's got Guts and it's got Iron Fist. So if he runs Protect, then I know he's got Flame Orb, he's got Guts. And then he'll just run with Facade, maybe, use Close Combat, Mach Punch for priority. So I got to watch out for that. Or he could run Mono Punches, run Mach Punch, and the Elemental Punches, and run Iron Fist for 30% extra power on that. Maybe even a Life Orb on that Conkeldurr set. So have to be wary of that one. Sylveon is next. Sylveon, very bulky special defense. It's got a good special attack stat. Normally you see Choice Specs ran on it. Pixelate is its ability, get the Fairy type Hyper Voice, and then it has Quick Attack. It'll run Quick Attack to finish off opponents if they're even neutral or weak to Fairy per se. So, and it can also run Mystical Fire. It can run Heal Bell. It can run Protect. It could run Wish. I have to be wary of what I could be seeing with that, and it also gets Shadow Ball too. So, gotta remember about Shadow Ball. Next up is Magneton. Magneton, I think if I see that one's going to have Eviolite. Because Magneton, with its 4-time quad weakness to ground, it's going to want a little extra boost per se. He would probably also bring Magneton just in case of like if I brought Duraludon per se, get Magnet Pull and then avoid the Sturdy per se. So it'll be interesting to see if he brings Magneton. I'm expecting maybe to see that, but I'm not entirely 100% certain on that one. So, but also Magneton can run like Tri-Attack, Thunderbolt, Discharge, Flash Cannon. I think it gets Autotomized, but I'm not entirely certain on that one. Next up is Scyther. If I don't see Eviolite on the Magneton, then I'm going to be seeing Eviolite on that Scyther. But I'm not sure if he would bring Scyther because, let's say hypothetically I run Stealth Rocks. He'd run Heavy Duty Boots, and then he doesn't have to deal with the 4-time weakness to Stealth Rocks at 50% health right off the bat. So, and then Scyther, I think like its evolution Scizor gets Technician, so it'll probably have like Dual Wing B, Quick Attack, maybe Swords Dance for setup, and then I think maybe like U-Turn or X Scissors. I'm trying to think. I can't think off the top of my head which Pokemon have like a bug move that's low power that is good for Scyther. Next up is Midnight Lycanroc. Midnight Lycanroc is interesting. Also, like I said, all of his team is interesting, and he's a good player too, very good coach. But Midnight Lycanroc, I've honestly never really seen that one, to be fully honest with all you guys. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that Midnight Lycanroc. I know it gets Counter. I know it gets Stone Edge. I think it gets Close Combat. It might get Knockoff. Might get Earthquake. So I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to be expecting in that battle. Next up is Weezing. Cantonian Weezing, I might add. It'll most likely be carrying Levitate, because I don't think anybody runs Neutralizing Gas on a Cantonian Weezing, but I wouldn't be shocked if I saw that. But I would think it's either going to be Levitate or it's going to be Stench to get the 30% flinch rate on any of its moves. It'll probably run Will-O-Wisp. It'll probably run Sludge Bomb. Maybe Explosion to try and sack itself off and then get a kill while it's at it. And I know it gets Flamethrower too, so it could even be a special attacker more so than a physical attacker. And usually if you give it Flamethrower and other special attack moves, you'll probably run Levitate with it to avoid the ground weakness. And then last up is Lopunny. And Lopunny, that one's really one that I don't know much about at all, per se. I know it had the Mega Evolution, and it got the Fighting type, and it got Scrappy. But other than that, I don't know much about Lopunny because I never really used one, per se. So, I know it gets Dizzy Punch. I know it gets High Jump Kick. But other than that, I really have no idea what to expect from his team. Of the 6 that I'm going to be anticipating to see, I'm expecting to see Galvantula, the Rain Duo, Politoed Kingdra. I'm going to expect to see Sylveon, Conkeldurr, and what the heck? I'll expect to see that Shedinja just to try to bait me out. And then if God forsaken, I lose all the Pokemon that can knock it out, then he wins. But now let's get into the nitty-gritty, folks. Let's get into the team builder itself, per se. Now, this time, I'm not using Sword and Shield to showcase the team. I'm actually using the website Pokemon Showdown to showcase the team. And the reason I'm using Pokemon Showdown this time is because I've been running... This is where I run my practice battles, per se. I have my friend Toxic in Discord, who runs my team, he runs my opponents, and he helps me set them up to, see what I'm going to be running, because Toxic is a very good battler too in his own right. So it'll be interesting to see what I endure in this battle. But let's get into the team itself real quick. The first Pokemon that I'm going to be using is my Hitmontop. My Hitmontop is nicknamed Taichi. It's still running the Assault Vest. It's going to have Technician. It's got Mach Punch, it's got Bullet Punch, it's got Triple Axe, like it's always had. but I'm giving it Rapid Spin this week. And the reason I'm giving it Rapid Spin is mainly for that Galvantula. I plan to lead with him on top in this battle and then use Rapid Spin. I'm going to try to bait out the Sticky Wedge because right now, as it stands, it'll never be faster than a Galvantula, even with the EVs that I have it at. But if I get the Sticky Wedge and then I use Rapid Spin, with 140 EVs and a speed positive nature, a +1 Hitmontop is 2 points faster than a Galvantula. So by getting the chip damage, getting about 30 to 40% via calcs on Rapid Spin Boosted Technician, I run Triple Axle, and I should be able to clean house in 2 hits on the Galvantula, which means I'll get rid of the Sticky Wedge, and I won't have to worry about the future of Galvantula, per se. The next up on the team is Lapras, King Neptune himself. And I'm giving it Shell Armor this week. I'm not giving it Water Absorb. Now, I thought about using Water Absorb to bait out the Kingdra and bait out the Politoed, but I'm not entirely certain, per se, if that's the right move this week. So I'm giving it Shell Armor this week. I haven't decided on the item, per se. I think I might give it, like, the Expert Belt or something like that, maybe even a berry to help out with its healing. But I'm giving it Freeze Dry because Freeze Dry, it'll almost instantly knock out that not Venus, or the Kingdra. It'll take care of the Politoed, and then I won't have to worry about the Rain team. I also have Hydro Pump, standard move, 80% accuracy, but massive power. It'll get boosted in the rain if the rain is still up. Ice Shard's there for priority. And then I'm giving it Iron Head this week. I'm giving it Iron Head solely for that Sylveon, but if he brings Midnight Lycanroc, then I can use the Iron Head as well and go from there. The next Pokemon I'm bringing back Glitch. I'm bringing back the Porygon Z. I'm giving it adaptability this week, but I'm also giving it the Rocky Helmet this week. The reason I'm giving it Rocky Helmet is just for that extra chip damage on Conkeldurr if I see it. Because if I see the Conkeldurr and it has Mach Punch or Close Combat or something like that. Now granted, Conkeldurr is not faster than Porygon Z. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The only way it's faster is if there's Trick Room set up. So he'll probably use Mach Punch to bait me out. But I use Hyper Beam with adaptability, and the Conkeldurr is bye-bye. So I don't have to worry about that. And granted, I'll be sacking off maybe a turn of my Porygon Z, but if it's to get rid of the Conkeldurr, I think it's a fair trade-off at this point in time. The next Pokemon on the team, I'm bringing back Luxray. I'm bringing back Mittens here. Mittens, the Luxray, to give a little bit of extra coverage on those water types that he has. I'm giving it the Fidgy Berry. I'm giving it Intimidate again. It's going to have Crunch for that Shedinja. It's going to have Thunder Fang for the Scyther. I'm giving it Ice Fang again, just in case. Because, if I wanted to run Ice Fang instead of the Scyther, try to go for a Freeze instead of a Paralysis. But I might change that up. I'm not entirely certain. And then I'm giving it Play Rough just for the Conkeldurr as well. Intimidate's there to lower its attack stat, give it a little chip damage there. 252 in attack, 160 in HP, 40 in defense, and 52 in speed with a Jolly Nature. It'll outspeed a decent amount of his opponents. Not of his opponents, of my opponent, of Baylor's team. So it'll be interesting to see what Luxray can bring to the team this week. The next Pokemon on the team, he's returning after a 2-week leave of absence. It is Reuniclus, working Unison. I'm giving it Magic Guard this week with a Life Orb, and I'm giving it 252 in HP, 112 in special attack, 140 in defense, and 4 in special defense. Now, the reason I'm giving it only 112 instead of maxing it out, per se, in special attack is because given its moveset, I'm giving it Iron Defense, I'm giving it Stored Power. I'm actually going to use Trick Room this week on Baylor if it comes down to that. I'm going to use Trick Room, and then I'm bringing Flash Cannon. But I'm actually about to change that real quick, and I'm going to run Fire Punch just in case the Shedinja is my last opponent. Per se, I'm going to give a Fire Punch for that coverage. But the Trick Room will be there. The Life Orb, Magic Guard, so it gets the boost. It doesn't get the recoil damage from the Life Orb. And I'm hoping that Reuniclus, can do its stuff, but a +2 stored power instantly KOs that Conkeldurr. It can take care of the Wheezing, and then the Fire Punch for Shedinja, and also the Scyther and the Magneton if necessary. And then the last Pokemon, he's one of the running for the MVP of this team. I mean, I know Tai Chi, the Hitmontop, he's been, giving him a run for his money. But it's still Bloomin' Onion. Bloomin' Onion, the Venusaur, he's coming back once again. Wide Lens, Chlorophyll, the standard set, Earth Power, Sludge Bomb, Frenzy Plant, Sleep Powder, 252 and Special Attack and Speed. And it should be able to take care of just about most of his team with the exception of that Shedinja. But if I have G-Max Vine Lash and he has to send out the Shedinja, no Focus Sash is keeping that thing alive. So that's going to be the end of this week's Team Builder. I don't necessarily know when our battle is going to be, but as per usual YouTube uploadings, I'm going to have the Team Builder uploaded the day before. I'm going to have the battle put up the day after, maybe even like a little later in that day per se. But I want to wish Baylor luck ahead of time because he is a good opponent. He is an expert with Ghost-type Pokemon. So it'll be interesting to see what he does in this draft league. But, right now we're getting into the nitty-gritty on that stuff. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the future. But let me know what you guys think about the Team Builder. Like the video, share the video, all that other hullabaloo that goes on with the YouTube algorithm and stuff. Like I said it before, if you guys want to, like the video, subscribe, all this stuff, you guys are more than welcome to. I'm not going to be one of those people that forces, they say like the algorithm or whatever. If you guys are subscribing, that means that you guys like my content. That's all that matters to me. And if you guys want to give me, more ideas to run, have at it. I'm always down to help out with you guys. So let me know what you guys think about our battle from last week. Let us know what you think about the Team Builder. We're going to be practicing this week. So get ready for a very intense battle because our next few weeks are going to be very intense as we make that final push towards the playoffs. But this has been Coach Joe signing off.